All right, let's dive right in. We're talking about a huge shift happening in the creator economy right now. It's this move from being, a digital tenant on someone else's platform to actually becoming a sovereign owner of your own community. This explainer, this is your guide to taking back control. If you're a creator, you know this feeling. That pit in your stomach when a platform's algorithm just changes overnight and your reach tanks. Or the constant worry about a shadow ban, where you're suddenly invisible and you don't even know why. You pour years into building something only to feel like the rug could be pulled out from under you at any moment. So it all boils down to this, right? You would never, ever build a physical store on a piece of land you were just renting, where the landlord could change the locks tomorrow. So why on earth do we accept this as normal in the digital world? You're supposed to be the CEO of your brand, but you're stuck playing by someone else's unpredictable rules. And that's exactly what we call the rented land dilemma. It's this fundamental conflict between where you build your audience and who really holds all the cards. And when you put them side by side, the difference is, well, it's night and day. On rented platforms, you don't own your data, the algorithm is a total black box, and the revenue share can be brutal. But on an owned platform, you're in the driver's seat. You own the data, you make the rules, and you keep the profit. It's the difference between being a freelancer and owning the entire company. And this really shows you the financial hit. Platforms are taking a massive slice of your hard-earned revenue. We're talking 30, sometimes even 50%, just for granting you access to the audience you built. And look, that's not just some small fee. For a lot of creators, that's the line between this being a hobby and it being a truly sustainable business. Okay, so that's the problem. It's a big one. So what's the fix? Well, it's a completely new way of thinking, a framework for real independence that's built on what we're calling the 3 pillars of sovereignty. Now, here's the key. The solution isn't to just quit all the big platforms. It's to make a strategic shift. You stop renting an audience and you start owning a community. And that simple change in mindset, that's the foundation for literally everything else we're about to talk about. So, pillar number 1 is algorithmic independence. This means you are finally off the hamster wheel. You're no longer at the mercy of some crazy algorithm that's designed to make a tech company money. You decide what your people see when they see it. You want a chronological feed? You got it. You want to pin the important stuff to the top? Done. You actually get to curate the experience. And that freedom gets you this number, 100%. On your own platform, when you post something, 100% of your members have the chance to see it. Just think about that for a second. Compare that to the, 5 or maybe 10% organic reach you get on the big social platforms. That is a complete game changer. Pillar number 2 is data sovereignty. Now, on rented land, the platform owns the connection to your fans. But when you build your own space, you own the data, the email lists, the analytics, how people interact. And this isn't just a bunch of numbers, it's your direct line to your community. It is, without a doubt, one of the most valuable assets your business will ever have. And that brings us to the 3rd and final pillar, unrestricted monetization. This is all about financial freedom. You get to decide how you make money. Subscriptions, one-off products, tips, whatever. You can even run your own ads if you want. And the best part? You're no longer forced to hand over that 30 to 50% cut. You build a business model that actually works for you. Okay, so the why is super clear, right? But the big question is always the how. How do you actually convince the followers you've worked so hard to get to make that leap with you? Well, that's where the migration playbook comes in. The whole strategy really boils down to 4 key levers you can pull. Creating exclusivity with your content, building real intimacy through access, offering status and recognition, and providing tangible perks. These are the powerful incentives that give people a real reason to cross that bridge from just being a follower to becoming a true member. Let's start with that first one, the content mode. The best way to think about this is the snack versus meal analogy. You use the big platforms for the snacks, the short clips, the teasers, the highlights that get people interested, but the full meal, the deep dive breakdowns, the uncut interviews, the valuable guides, that is served exclusively on your own platform. You give them a taste for free, then invite them in for the banquet. The other levers all fall under what you could call the velvet rope strategy. You're creating an exclusive club that people want to be a part of. Want to build real intimacy? Host exclusive Ask Me Anything sessions in a safe space. Want to offer status? Give out founding member badges. And for perks, how about member-only discounts or early access to new stuff? You see, you're not just asking them to move, you're inviting them into an inner circle. So, what this all really comes down to is a fundamental shift in how you see your future as a creator. It's about getting off that treadmill of chasing short-term engagement and instead building a long-term, resilient, and independent business. And honestly, this one line says it all. The strategy isn't about deleting your social media accounts. No way. It's about using those massive platforms for what they're good at: discovery, reach, getting noticed. But then you convert that fame into an actual, sustainable business on a platform that you control. You use one to feed the other. So I'll leave you with this final thought, a question to really ask yourself. Right now, is your community just an audience, a vanity metric that could disappear tomorrow? Or is it a real business asset, something you actually own, that you can nurture, and that you can build a real future on? How you answer that, well, that's going to define everything.